And what is the project? Project near kindergarten NGO BBC or Ghana. Now, all that the NGO did was they added a internet service or internet to how teaching is done. A kindergarten block. Bako. And the President of the Republic, Ekoko Biano. No, you need to get this straight. A non-governmental organization, and a suburb from Edio Musika C, a kindergarten block. And the Minister of Education, the President of the Republic, the Information Minister, ministers left their job. And then an NGO has built one kindergarten block, one in focus. Education Minister, who basically is a studies teacher, co-founded for US by. He's saying to say, speaking so much and saying country makes you look like a legitimate education minister with brains. No. If I were him, I've been speaking about STEM. Why don't you go to the basics? Every single basic school in Ghana, your basic schools are spread across the nation. And some are in a very bad state. If you want to help upgrade STEM and also introduce STEM, all that you have to do is, instead of you taking huge sums of money to build schools from scratch, if it is not partisan politics and it is not about making people know, say, you don't think about the future of the kids. The money we have used in saying we want to build new STEM schools, why don't we use half of them to upgrade these these basic schools and upgrade them to the level where every basic school will be moved to that STEM system whereby they will have internet connection, they will have computers in the classrooms. Every single thing you are seeing here, an NGO did, we can do it with half of the money or the budget we are thinking of using to build new schools, because these people are doing politics with us.
Ebushafo meche obia wohwe bia no meche me da wasese wohwe Abevero TV me pacho on subscribe ya pacho pi subscribe sisi ya na share ema obushafo no na mfo ehwe pacho pi so comment me hia pa comment me da se pa pacho video ya ye be hwe NGO anase ankrankra bi KG obesi okwabenya se odbeboa education and ababwa enkola adisua and a whole president of Ghana edware abopada epeja akonya esi V8 mu afu full nya akotena ho se obebie edan ya Ghana sikeni manase enka enu Akufo Addo boshe ho enka ho kra meka NGO ya ankrakra obisika no odesi NGO odesi KG no Akufo Addo na ban pese obondeje fans na omukobia no na akoye se omu na omesi Akufo Addo ekono nyo nkwa ne koyo oni ni minister of education ekobi minister of information so kobi bacho se ade wozo ohwem pa na nka ehia kwase Akufo Addo ebeko ho ehia se minister nkwa beko ka GS ana se Ghana Education Service director bit mako na MP ana minister of education kwa bit mako mentia se Akufo Addo eni ne minister se edware abopada akotena ho se omuko kate rope to KG Akufo Addo enimu hwe NGO BSC na nka ehwema Akufo Addo beko bebia ko kate sword na se akọ kate rope na nka eboshe na omo hye no roads agenda 111 planting for food and jobs wenum na Akufo Addo ekakate sword na se okate rope na nka anya mwanwa enti Ghana for mama eninda ho mama mbi adwumo even KG a omo sisi no internet be na omo isu internet no menya sure say ebe stable dumso ekosui enkrai kwa na ometma benefit enyoma NGO yesisi ena ekaya ankrankrai edi omusika anase omama body CKG Ghana for enti eboshe a Akufo Addo ehye no ena ka okogina wo senka emubi na waye na ka okate so dan kan nyemwa say whole president asori so okobie KG ano enti your priority no Ghana priority now work for the so any dey he say a whole president wo dey akonya ese V8 mu as some ministers e dey akire say moko bie KG wo hwa video no kra broni bi te akire wo hwa mu din ti broni ko ho wase enti serious ni wo hwa other countries a a whole president enso so ko bie KG ano Ghana nkwa na hu se president ko be toilet ano Akufo Addo na ba ko Akufo Bawumia mo ko be toilet ano president edwabo pada se okokati rope for toilet Ghana for mo eninda ho na 2024 and another next election no yentu abapa JM why be da why be pain do me yentu abapa mo eninda ho madam ase mo enko hwe video no na yen share yen comment madam ase p.
Video that will surprise majority of the people watching me. The President of the Republic, Nanaakufo Addo, I think over the weekend did something very extraordinary. Munyina momen share the Akufo Addo over the weekend. Na yankan wasem kakra ne nkwe. We have started the cacalization segment.
Letter C, let me look for letter
Children and teachers of Kwabenya Kindergarten MA Basic School in their newly built state-of-the-art ICT-empowered model classroom.
Okay, give me one finger. One, again. One.
A play-based classroom kindergarten developed by the BSW Group, the first of its kind in the country.
So my name is Alona Datenka-Volodina and I'm the General Manager of CADEUS, which is Educational Technology Division of BSW Group, which actually executed all the reconstruction and the refurbishment of this wonderful facility.
According to Aliona, the model allows children to be seamlessly introduced to ICT.
When it's play-based, it's center-based. There is a lot of space that children can actually play. We're not encouraging them to sit at the desks. We want them to be active. We want them to work with their hands. We want them to create, to do something. So technology, it's actually only one of the stations that you see in the classroom. You have the reading corner, you have the tangibles corner, you have the play corner, you have the touch screens. So when we designed the classrooms, we were thinking about several things. First of all, the number of kids in the class. And we know that the number can reach up to 70 children. So we had to bring, for example, the projector and the board in order for the teacher to be able to work with the whole classroom. Then we created centers in order for the teacher to be able to split the groups into the smaller groups, to assign them some task, either it's with technology or with some resources, and then they can do some activities throughout the day. Then can change. So basically, throughout the day, children have access to different stations and different opportunities. And what it allows them, it allows us to expand the opportunities in their learning. It allows them to develop different skills and basically develop holistically.
However, she fears internet connectivity and electricity supply may pose a threat to the project.
There are several things that we were struggling with. As you know, that ICT requires electricity and connectivity, and for us it was important to select and to find the resources and to bring you the solutions that can be independent of connectivity, that all children, despite of where they're located, because the project was in 6 regions, will be able to access technology and the solutions. So there are things that we hope the government of Ghana will improve, and I've seen this already throughout the years, that it's getting better and better, but as you probably know, it's a very long road. From our side, we'll do all possible to ensure that all the teachers, even in the most remote areas.
At the sword-cutting ceremony, Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei-Edutum believes the project, if expanded, will transform pre-primary education in the country.
Today we have a wonderful opportunity of seeing one that has been completed in Greater Accra. I'm so excited to understand that President is not interested in STEM education from secondary. He's interested in STEM education starting from kindergarten. He wants to create...
He gave the government assurance that educational projects will continue unabated even under harsh economic conditions.
In the midst of these economic challenges, we have 7 colleges, technical colleges under construction now. We are opening 7 STEM high schools in Ghana now. We have kindergartens that are being operationalized with ICT. There are 110 of them under construction throughout this country.
On his part, President Akufo Addo charged the various assemblies to take care of the new classroom blocks that will be built under the project.
Help the management and teachers of this newly constructed kindergarten block will ensure the best maintenance practices are put in place so that this school is well utilized and maintained for the benefit of our students.
For the students, they beam with smiles as they start their new journey to computer literacy. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Okay, give me one.
So, the Osha, or what you just watched, is a project that was undertaken by an NGO. And what is the project? Project near kindergarten NGO BBC or Ghana. Now, all that the NGO did was they added a internet service or internet to how teaching is done. A kindergarten block. Bako. And the President of the Republic, Ekoko Biano. No, you need to get this straight. A non-governmental organization, and a suburb from Edio Musika C, a kindergarten block. And the Minister of Education, the President of the Republic, the Information Minister, ministers left their job. And then an NGO has built one kindergarten block. One. It wasn't funded by the government. It wasn't a government initiative from scratch. It was an NGO that built a kindergarten block. This is a president who was telling us, say, the former president or his predecessor, after building UGMC, which is one of the most sophisticated medical hospitals in the sub-Saharan region, Okache Dormaahene said, Onyeshi, after 6 years in power as the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, an NGO comes to Ghana to build a block kindergarten, KG. Nana Akufo Addo takes the government there to that KG block and tells the education minister, say, Ghana, yabatina yes, some NGO. The NGO, I can do like 4 of them. Now, looking at it critically, it should clearly tell you, say, we have a government that is basically myopic. We have a government that cannot help. And I'm saying this because since Akufo Addo Ebedi president, there are major educational facilities that at the end of the day are more important than this KG. He has ignored. He has actually basically decided not to touch for them to rot. And those projects, Ghana, for you and I, our tax money, are buying BGG, the president and this government and this party, to be specific, NPP, they have neglected that. And a air pro room. And a NGO basi KG block. And also KG block no, or the BBA bomb friend internet, a computer, and crowned to be pressing BB. Into the whole government, the president, the education minister, they go there and tell Ghana, say, this is the kindergarten president. He has come to cut the ropes for an NGO that has built a block. It should tell you the kind of leadership we have today in Ghana. When Nawaseka Bibichra said, we made one of the biggest mistakes as a nation bringing these people to power. I was expecting Akufo Addo to be cutting sword for a university. And the reason why I make a sad and say, from the things they said in opposition and being in government for 6 years now, I was expecting Akufo Addo to be cutting ropes or to be basically inaugurating a multi-million-dollar university in Ghana. But this is the situation. The Mr. Know-all president, the president who has no certificate, and the certificate-less president, the people who were speaking so much when they were on the bench, today they are in here cutting ropes for an NGO project, not for an NGO Awabesi Senior High Schooler, which is going to enroll 3,000 people. This is an NGO that has built a kindergarten block. Are you not ashamed? We are MPP ni. That's also we are test on ni. Now what to what? Who say Sebio You are basically being fooled by these old goons. So you're Ghana now, Oshemia. What will make you even walk to the ballot and say these people are intelligent than those who were able to spread senior high schools around the nation? Because in the Ghana, Akorebia or senior high school, 80% of them, they are in the free SHSE blocks built by the NDC administration. How many of schools say what Ghana no betumaka say NPP are buying eba so for time ebe sin the NDC, they have none. But they talk about education. We want to impact knowledge, and the education minister the time bono konha. Education minister Kentry, Mr. Kentry, the time bono ha, and he was so proud that he has been given opportunity to speak at an event where an NGO came to build one block that cannot take more than 20 students. These are kids. There are basic schools in Ghana. They can be refurbished, and this thing they are talking about STEM, no, they can be lifted from where they are into a certain standard. The STEM they are talking about, it could start from these existing schools. But this is a government that is so ignorant. Because if you're telling me about STEM, that's also a new kind of a year program for students, for them to be more involved in the learning when the teacher is in front of them practically, for them to be more skilled before they walk out of the educational system. You came to meet basic schools. So what is stopping you from basically touching these basic schools, upgrading them to the level whereby it can be more sophisticated and more advanced? Whilst a young says, see new, I'm not saying said your coach Ghana policy, you and Ghana's are buying. I am talking about the education minister not having focus. Education minister who basically is a studies teacher, co-founded for US by. He's saying to say, speaking so much and saying country makes you look like a legitimate education minister with brains. No. If I were him, I've been speaking about STEM. Why don't you go to the basics? Every single basic school in Ghana, your basic schools are spread across the nation. And some are in a very bad state. If you want to help upgrade STEM and I say introduce STEM, all that you have to do is, instead of you taking huge sums of money to build schools from scratch, if it's not partisan politics and it is not about making people know, say, you don't think about the future of the kids. The money we have used in saying we want to build new STEM schools, why don't we use half of them to upgrade these these basic schools and upgrade them to the level where every basic school will be moved to that STEM system whereby they will have internet connection, they will have computers in the classrooms. Every single thing you are seeing here, an NGO did, we can do it with half of the money or the budget we are thinking of using to build new schools, because these people are doing politics with us. The reason why I'm speaking on this is because the waste in the system by these people, if we don't start checking them, they will take us for fools. You see, your house is here because of these kind of wastes. They are not people who think. They are people who do politics. And there's a difference between people who think and people who do politics. The NDC, Dormaahene, they were thinking. Because if you don't think, you will never know, say, we see e-blocks are nipa 3,000 on man school. The person who doesn't think, who does politics, thinks, say okofa sika abra sika ni wo ekosi school bi na amanfo boje ne so a ene na kire se onimnyansa. There are two different things here. It is a you should be ashamed. Even the education minister, he should be ashamed for walking to a kindergarten built by an NGO to go do politics. We never saw this Akufo Addo become president, and at this point we will see Akufo Addo cutting ropes for a kindergarten built by an NGO to be there, to be inaugurated. We never, didn't put do that. So abu ebi kwana catch say Akufo Addo bedroom pempenso bi a MPP aban Akufo Addo di anim. Ebe twa kindergarten robe mu a like yes kwana be catch na we would have never believed it. But it's good because now you omo dwene ene omo jimi. You are angry because I use the word omo jimi. There are no other words I can use now. Many words so I may use actual say penifo no di anim sisi a MPP aban we no dodo na jimi. And this is a typical example of a government that is wasting our resource. NGO CKG.